What if a single scientific mistake turned a tropical paradise into a radioactive hell, poisoning generations and sparking global outrage? This is the shocking true story of Castle Bravo, the test that revealed how America's race for nuclear supremacy unleashed an accidental apocalypse on innocent islanders. It was the height of the Cold War, March 1, 1954, on the remote Bikini Atoll in the Marshall Islands. The U.S. military prepared to detonate Castle Bravo, the first in a series of powerful hydrogen bomb tests. The device, nicknamed Shrimp, was designed by top scientists at Los Alamos. They expected an explosion of about 6 megatons, roughly 400 times the power of the Hiroshima bomb. It was a staggering number, but what happened next was beyond anyone's worst nightmare. The key to the bomb's power was a new, dry fuel called lithium deuteride. But the scientists made a critical miscalculation. They assumed an isotope within the fuel lithium-7 would be inert. They were wrong. When the bomb detonated, the lithium-7 unexpectedly supercharged the reaction. The result was catastrophic, a 15-megaton explosion, 2.5 times more powerful than predicted, and the largest ever detonated by the United States. A blinding flash, visible 250 miles away, ignited a fireball 3 miles wide. It vaporized millions of tons of coral, sand, and water, carving a crater 250 feet deep into the reef. The mushroom cloud rocketed into the stratosphere, and the shockwave shattered windows on islands over 100 miles away. On the command ship, instruments went off the charts, leaving observers in stunned silence as the very landscape of the atoll disappeared before their eyes. But the blast was only the beginning. The real horror came with the fallout. A sudden wind shift sent a massive plume of radioactive debris drifting over 7,000 square miles of ocean. Just 100 miles away, on Rongelap Atoll, the islanders woke up to a strange white ash falling from the sky like snow. Children played in it, not knowing it was poison. The fallout burned their skin on contact and contaminated their water. Within hours, people began suffering from acute radiation sickness, vomiting, hair loss, and blistering skin. 2 days later, the U.S. Navy finally evacuated them, but the damage was done. The dose they received was comparable to the worst-hit zones of Chernobyl. One child died soon after, and for decades, the survivors faced a plague of cancers, stillbirths, and horrific birth defects. The fallout didn't stop there. 85 miles from the blast, a Japanese tuna trawler, the Lucky Dragon No. 5, was also caught in the radioactive snow. Its 23 crewmen watched the distant flash, only to wake up covered in the deadly ash. They soon developed oozing sores and searing eye pain. 6 months later, the ship's radio operator, Ikichi Kubayama, died, becoming the first known fatality of an American H-bomb test. When their contaminated catch reached Japan, it sparked a national panic, with thousands of tons of fish being dumped. Back on the test site, military weatherman Rongerik Johnny Johnson claimed he saw the dangerous wind shift on his radar. But his warnings were ignored in the frenzy to complete the test. Even the scientists involved weren't safe. Dr. Alvin Graves, a lead scientist, suffered severe burns just from flying through the cloud to collect samples. The incident exposed a shocking lack of safety protocols and a dangerous level of scientific arrogance. Global outrage erupted. Japan led massive protests, giving rise to the famous slogan, "No more Hiroshimas." The plight of the Lucky Dragon crew proved that fallout respected no borders. Under pressure, the US government paid compensation, but trust was shattered. The people of Bikini Atoll remain in exile to this day, their home still uninhabitable. The scientists behind the bomb later admitted, "We didn't know what the hell we were doing." The disaster was fueled by a hubristic oversight, a refusal to consider the true power of what they were unleashing. Decades later, the Marshall Islands are still fighting for justice, haunted by the legacy of jellyfish babies. Infants born without bones and a leaking concrete dome filled with radioactive waste that threatens the Pacific once more. The story of Castle Bravo is a chilling reminder of how unchecked ambition can doom the innocent. It was a disaster that accelerated the 1963 Partial Test Ban Treaty, but its lesson is more relevant than ever. In a world of rising tensions, this hidden nuclear hell warns us that one misstep is all it takes to poison paradise forever. Thanks for watching. If you found this story important, please like and subscribe for more deep dives into history's forgotten chapters.